Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Monster Hunter World video, and in this video we are going to be breaking down the brand new trailer that just dropped today. There is so much information to share with you guys. We've seen new and returning monsters, we've had our first look at one of the monsters coming in the first DLC pack in spring, we have confirmation of a third beta just before launch, and a load more stuff like that. So I will be doing a follow-up news video after this one to round up all of that information. But in this video, we are going to break down the trailer. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. If you have any questions, by all means, drop them down below. And if you notice anything that I didn't speak about, also let me know. But getting started right at the beginning, this is a rather interesting scene because the very first time you see it, it looks like it could almost be confirmation of a tundra map because you see these icicles, and that is a map that we have typically seen in previous Monster Hunters. It's a map that we would like to see. However, very briefly after, you actually get to see it looks a lot more like the Volcano. You look in the background with the lava, you have the more traditional kind of stone sort of looking floor as opposed to the snow that you would expect from the tundra. You do have these big crystals at the side, but in truth, I believe this is actually just the Volcano map. There's probably just a segment of it that's got these crystals, and the reason we saw that snow or the ice is of course because one of the returning monsters. Jumping forward a little bit, we get another look at the deeper realms of the Volcano map where you're, further down, all the thick lava, red, hot. Be interesting to see whether we actually need cold drinks for this area. We didn't need them for the Wildspire Waste. I'm not entirely sure whether they are in the game or whether they're something we only use when we get to, say, the later maps. That is something we'll need to discover. However, as you can see here, returning monsters are Teostra and Kushala. Really, really exciting. Two Elder Dragons. If you guys are new to Monster Hunter, then these are Elder Dragons that have made appearances in numerous different Monster Hunter games. Teostra is, of course, the big, flaming Elder Dragon. Always a bit of a pain, has some really lethal moves. And Kushala is, of course, your wind/ice Elder Dragon as well. Both really cool. I'm a massive fan of Kushala. Always has a really cool armor set. But either way, they are both confirmed to be returning, and we'll see some more of those a little bit later in the trailer. So jumping forward, we then jump into the Hub Town, an area we've seen before. They do, however, give us a much better look at the Gathering Hall, the online social hub. Really, really awesome. In fact, during the live stream, I'll show you this during the news portion of the video later on today, but during the live stream they actually showed some genuine gameplay inside the hub full of 16 players, all with their cats by their side, so it looks really, really lively when the lobby is full. It looks like a really cool place to just kind of hang out. I expect that I would probably like to just sort of, when I'm not hunting, maybe when I'm making videos, I might just hang out in online hubs. Could be kind of cool. You get a look at the new and improved arm wrestling barrels. You actually get this sort of countdown cutscene beforehand, and you sit there, you spam circle in order to compete. But after that, they then jump back and transition through some of the maps. This part we've seen before. This is, of course, a trailer that cuts together some segments from previous trailers. So we see Rathalos in the Ancient Forest. We, of course, see Diablos coming out in the Wildspire Waste. We see Legiana in the Coral Highlands. And then we see Odogaron in the Rotten Vale. He's, of course, the big, meaty demon dog. Looks like a really cool monster. However, after that, we then get our first look at a new monster. We have confirmation that it is called Dodogama. It is a thief rock wyvern. I think it's grouped under the fanged wyverns. Looks really cool. Looks kind of cute in sort of some of the angles as well. Didn't really get to see too much gameplay from it, but it's obviously going to be a monster that we'll find in the Volcano map. We then, of course, jump through a few more scenes we've seen before. Tobikadachi, Baroth, and a few other monsters as well. Then, of course, we get another look at Uragan, who was teased at the very end of the previous trailer. We see Rathian, but then if we jump forward a little bit, we actually get a look at another really interesting monster. So you guys might remember at the end of the Rotten Vale trailer, we saw this teaser, this bone pile moving, and we saw like a hand come out, but we didn't actually get to see the monster. This is now what it looks like. We don't have a name for it right now, and when asking Socks on Twitter, he said they're not ready to reveal that one just yet, so it looks crazy. It almost looks like a zombie dragon. You can kind of see part of the mouth or the meat tearing apart when it opens its jaws. It's got this sort of double jaw thing as well. It's got these weird, big, bony wings, so it looks really, really scary. Whether it's considered an Elder Dragon or whether it's just a regular monster, maybe one of the apex predators of the Rotten Vale. Up until now, we've assumed that, say, Odogaron is probably the apex predator, given that it seems to just attack everything, but it could well be this is, in fact, that monster. We then get some gameplay of a hunter fighting against both Kushala and also Teostra. There are some rather interesting new weapons seen here as well. I'm probably going to do a separate video to break down things like the weapons and armor that we've seen because there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. So for the time being, let's focus on those. Then next up, this is really interesting. This is a turf war between two different Elder Dragons. Typically in the past, you fight like one Elder Dragon at a time. You don't really, they don't typically cross paths. This, of course, you know, in Monster Hunter we've seen this whole like Monster Hunter hierarchy where they'll battle it out. Things like Anjanath versus Great Jagras or Rathalos versus Anjanath. And to see two Elder Dragons like this going toe-to-toe, that is insane. In fact, the key art for this kind of trailer, or the new key art they released, shows No Gigante going up against Teostra, so that in itself is really cool. But yeah, to see Kushala facing off against Teostra, absolutely incredible. I'm rooted for Kushala. I've never really been a fan of Teostra, to be honest. I like Kushala, but each to their own. After that, there are a few story segments, just a couple of cutscenes from, you know, obviously the different parts of the stories you'll play, so nothing too drastic here. There's, of course, that focus on those lava chunks, which I'm assuming are tied to Zora Magdaros or No Gigante. However, jump a little bit further forward from there, you get your typical segment where like it just shows a load of different gameplay, with different monsters, different weapons and things. So these parts always look really cool. Again, a good chance to see a few new weapons, so things that I will definitely focus on a little bit later. But then after that, we also see another turf war, and this time it is No Gigante versus Teostra. Of course, for this one, I'm putting my money on No Gigante because he just seems like an absolute demon. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That rounds out the trailer. And then, while in the live stream, they actually did this slightly differently. They showed this at the end. In the actual officially released trailer, they tacked this onto the back of it. So, the first DLC pack, DLC 1, that will be free, comes in spring 2018. So again, it's not dated, but spring is typically like March, April, May. And this is going to include Deviljho. So that's super exciting. It'll of course include other things as well, but the first monster they've shown is Deviljho, often named Pickle. If you guys haven't played Monster Hunter before, he is a ferocious beast. Really, really awesome to fight. So I'm super excited for that. Has some cool weapons, some cool armor, just in general, really nice to see that. So he's going to be part of DLC 1. I'm sure we'll find out more about that a little bit later. But for the time being, that is a complete breakdown of the most recent trailer. As I said, keep it locked because in a little bit I'll be uploading a news roundup to basically kind of go over absolutely everything that they announced, and then over the weekend I'll have some more follow-up videos to kind of talk about things in slightly greater detail. So plenty of stuff coming your way over the next few days, but for the time being, thank you for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.